So we're back, and it's 2 videos in a row now of me not complaining. So you've got that at least. Today I want to talk about my semester abroad while I was in university and the 6 months I spent living in Norway, and why I would like to recommend going and living abroad in some capacity to everyone who's listening to this. Obviously, not everyone gets the opportunity to go on Erasmus, which is what I did. I know a large portion of my limited viewers are from the United States, and that's obviously not something that's available to you, but I'll explain to you what it is and why, if you get the chance to go and study abroad or even just travel abroad, you should absolutely take it. So Erasmus is basically an EU program that allows college students to study abroad for a semester or an academic year, and it links universities all over Europe. So that meant for me in Ireland, I had the choice of going to a number of different countries in Europe. Even the University of South Carolina was on the list, which I considered because I thought, fuck yeah, I can go to all the Memphis Grizzlies games, only to realize that just because, even though South Carolina as a state isn't far from the state of Tennessee and they border each other, it is as far from Memphis as it could possibly be. The US is fucking huge, man. Anyway, the program itself, it's also Erasmus. It's also partially funded by the European Union, which does reduce your costs. Like you get grants and stuff, and it does help give you the chance to study and live abroad. So why not? And when I realized that living in the FedEx Forum wasn't an option, I narrowed my choices down to Gothenburg and Stockholm in Sweden, and Bergen in Norway. So I went with Norway because obviously both Sweden and Norway anyway as countries are fairly fucking superior by European metrics, even especially compared to Ireland. But like, how cool would it be to live in a place like Norway, given it was a country that I'd never been to beforehand? So I went with my friend Louis, as I mentioned in my video talking about complainers, and the two of us rocked up to a country that we had never been to, and were left to fend for ourselves, and it was amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, I was very nervous about going. I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was worried about that falling apart. Having someone that I knew from college at home to go with definitely made the experience easier, especially in the early parts when I didn't know what I was doing. But I was still shitting myself in the airport, ready to go over. When myself and Louis got there, it was cold as fuck. I could barely carry my suitcases because I had too many, and we had to figure out some way to get to our accommodation by tram. Thankfully, being in Norway, a sensible and functioning country, the tram basically takes you straight from the airport to literally a 2-minute walk from the apartment building where we would be living for the next 6 months, which was just ideal. And I think that kind of introduction to it just summed it all up. Like, by the second or third night, we had already found a friend group. It was the two of us, Irish paddies, 3 Belgians, 1 lad and 2 girls, and then a Hungarian fella as well. And within a week of that, the 6 of us had already booked a holiday together to go to Svalbard in the Arctic Circle. And that was just something else entirely. Like, you're out hiking in like minus 10 degrees on an island with more polar bears than people. Unfortunately, we didn't have any unique encounters. The most threatening thing that any of our trips really out into the Arctic wilderness had was we came across some Arctic fox tracks. But it was cool. Like, you can't leave the fucking town without a hiking guide who's armed with a rifle, because in case you encounter a polar bear. And like, it was just incredible. That itself, obviously, but like coupled with all the hiking that we did around Bergen and the surrounding area, and it was just heavenly, man. I can't describe it. Like, university itself, I just scraped by. I went to about 7 classes, maybe a bit more, but not much more, like the entire semester, because who the fuck wants to go to college when you can go and explore a country like Norway? In Bergen, we had a healthy mix of snow, rain, sunshine, and Norwegian culture itself was pretty fun too. I love Norwegians, man, because they hate people and they don't talk to people unless they need to. So there's no small talk, and I just thought that was great. Like, if you know anything about Ireland, man, it's all we do. All we do is talk shit to each other about everything for no reason at all. So it was nice to mix it up a small bit and, you know, do something different. And like, I tried to learn Norwegian while I was there, I really did. I'd go into a cafe after rehearsing my order in my head, speak what I thought was pretty decent, basic enough but decent Norwegian, and then the response would be for here or to go in perfect English, and like, they just knew. So I gave up after about 3 weeks, but I got by fine running through English and just saying thanks in Norwegian. That was literally it. Tusen takk is the way to go there, but like, I ended up learning more French than anything, and that was just so that I could abuse the Belgians in their own language. Like, that's the best part. Like, the country itself was obviously amazing. The hikes were amazing. The quality of life is on another level. But it's the people that make it, really. Like, you meet a huge mix of people from all over Europe. You know, even a couple of Americans too, and I was living with a Canadian, but I also became friends with a Palestinian from the West Bank, and like, we became really close. And like, just talking to him is just incredible. Like, the mix of cultures and people, like, it just completely changes your entire perspective on life, because there's so much out there, like, about people, cultures, and things like that we're just not aware of, because, you know, we're in a small town or city or country with a way of life that's just uniform. And like, going away to experience something different, like, there's nothing quite like it, really. And there's nothing I can say or do here. Like, you just need to experience it. Like, really, really take the chance if you get it, and like, try and create that chance for yourself. Like, it all just clicks when you're there, because like, I mean, for us, like, we were in a village with a bunch of people who were all in the same boat. It was, everyone was studying abroad, far from home, far from family, and just dropped into a culture that's completely different. And it's just the best experience. Like, it wasn't perfect, obviously, even if it felt like it was at times. Um, but and I actually ended up breaking up with my girlfriend for good about a month and a half into Erasmus out of 6 months. But I have no regrets there either. Like, I was completely independent. I had to fend for myself with cooking and cleaning, finding my way around the city. But it was great. Like, and it is the small things that stand out, the small moments, small memories that really matter. Like, going for a coffee with your friends here and there, or, you know, a night out drinking, and like, surrounded by great people while doing that, just made it incredible. And like, when you get to the end of the 6 months, like, I had to say goodbye to everyone, obviously, and that was really shit. Like, leaving was one of the hardest things I had to do. Like, leaving was much harder than going. And I was the last one from the friend group as well to leave. But like, what a great problem to have, you know. I've seen them all a few times since as well, from my friend group. Like, been to Belgium 3 times, Hungary once, and the Hungarian has come to visit me. But it is an experience that you should take if you get the chance, because you will not regret it. Like, going and living abroad forces you to grow up, especially if you're young. Like, it forces you to do things that you don't want to do, but at the same time, it gives you a clean slate at life. Like, in some ways, like, just don't let fear or comfort stop you from studying abroad, because you can always come home, but you will regret not going. Like my man Billy, even though he'll never admit it, he definitely fucking regrets it. So that's my Erasmus story. If you're thinking about it, take this as your sign to go, because you won't regret going, but you might regret not going. If you've done it yourself, or you've studied, lived away from home, drop a comment, let me know where you went and how you got on, because I am interested to know. But really, the takeaway from this is, you need to go. Absolutely.